What is up, XRP Army? We have an interesting update from Ripple regarding quantum computing and its impact on blockchain. So very interesting because every now and then people talk about this and their concerns and whatnot. So great to see what they have to say. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. Links to everything's in the description. They say, as part of our UBRI series, explore the intersection where blockchain meets quantum computing with Professor Massimiliano Sala from Uni Trento. Gain insights into the quantum challenges facing blockchain and strides towards quantum-resistant cryptography. So, very interesting post. Didn't expect to see this from them going into the weekend, but let's dive into it. Quantum computing's impact on blockchain. So the insights, very nice. What do you guys think? I know a lot of people sometimes get into a very, like it's the end of the world or it's going to like brute force everything or break everything. But, what do you guys think going into this? Each quarter will be going under the hood with Ripple's University Blockchain Research Initiative. This is actually good because we're getting some deeper insights to gain a deeper understanding of trending topics in crypto and blockchain and highlight their insights and key takeaways. The views expressed in this blog are solely those of Dr. Sala. So guys, just, full disclosure, it's just solely based on Dr. Sala, based on his individual expertise and personal insights. As part of our ongoing Ripple Insights series, we delve into the rapidly evolving intersection of blockchain and quantum computing with the professor, a renowned professor of mathematics at the University of Trento. Professor Sala's expertise in cryptography provides a profound understanding of the quantum challenges facing blockchain technologies and the XRP Ledger. His work alongside the National Italian Association for the Support of Study and Research in Cryptography offers an intriguing vantage point on the broader industry and its development. Very nice. Nice little intro there. Blockchain security. When addressing what's ahead for the industry, Professor Sala emphasized the critical vulnerabilities that quantum computing introduces to blockchain security. Quantum computers could easily solve problems that are foundational to digital signatures, thus potentially undermining the mechanisms that protect users' assets on blockchain platforms, he explains. This vulnerability is particularly concerning for technologies relying heavily on cryptographic security. However, Professor Sala also highlights the proactive strides within the cryptographic community. Some of these words, man, they're a little bit of a mouthful, aren't they? Towards developing post-quantum cryptographic schemes that are designed to be secure against quantum computational attacks. So that's interesting. Post-quantum cryptographic schemes. Well, kind of big euphemisms he used here, so it's going to be interesting to see the breakdown of that. Enhancements in cryptographic defenses and quantum-resistant algorithms. Looking forward, Professor Sala notes the necessity of transitioning to quantum-resistant cryptographic systems. All classical public key crypto systems should be replaced with counterparts secure against quantum attacks, he states. This transition is crucial for maintaining the integrity and security of blockchain infrastructures against potential quantum threats. Discussing the development of quantum-resistant algorithms, Professor Sala acknowledges the complexity of integrating these into existing blockchain technologies. He points out the inevitable trade-offs involved, such as increased computational demands and larger data sizes for secure transactions. Despite these challenges, he's optimistic about the ongoing research aimed at optimizing these implementations for practical use. So, at a glance, guys, these threats are looming, right? And we see a lot of kind of like approximation, like optimism, ongoing research, the implementations, but I still haven't seen kind of a micro detail breakdown. The role of algebra and coding theory. Algebra and coding theory play pivotal roles in constructing quantum-resistant cryptographic systems. Professor Sala illustrates this with examples like the algebraic problem of finding the closest element in a predetermined lattice and the coding theory-related challenge of decoding noisy data. These mathematical frameworks are crucial for developing robust security solutions that could safeguard blockchain against quantum threats. It's a lot of jargon. I still don't understand like the solution in layman terms. But we'll continue to read this. Global collaboration and quantum security. Highlighting the importance of international collaboration, Professor Sala praises initiatives like the US NIST standardization process, which has fostered global efforts to establish a common cryptographic standard resistant to quantum attacks. But we don't even know what those attacks look like, at least so far, and what those set solutions are. It's kind of abstract, right? This collaborative approach ensures that new cryptographic schemes undergo rigorous community-wide evaluation, enhancing their reliability and security. Preparing future cryptographers, blockchain in a quantum world. From an educational standpoint, Professor Sala stresses the need to revise academic curricula to include quantum-resistant cryptographic methods. So it just seems like there's a lot of urge and awareness. Maybe a lot of this is also just awareness. This shift requires a transition from traditional cryptographic education, which focuses on integer factorization and discrete logarithms, to emerging challenges that quantum computing introduces. Professor Sala envisions a future where blockchain technology successfully integrates quantum-resistant cryptographic blocks, thereby mitigating quantum threats. He advocates for a balanced approach to this integration, suggesting that blockchain systems begin by incorporating quantum-safe elements in less critical areas to ensure continued usability. Again, like as just a normal user, I still don't really understand much of this. Like, what do you guys think? Am I crazy here? Quantum computing, like, I understand that quantum computing in the general sense, right? The general sense of advancing the Silicon Wars and advancing that and having that level of compute power or absurd amount or something that really is allowing these attack vectors to go crazy. But in terms of the solutions, they're not clear to me. Quantum computing timeline and practical steps. Okay, I like practical steps. Finally, Professor Sala advises organizations to begin transitioning to quantum-resistant technologies immediately. The probability of quantum threats materializing may not be imminent, but it is significant enough to warrant proactive measures. Again, coming back to that awareness, he asserts. For blockchain developers, he recommends staying engaged with ongoing standardization efforts and participating in forums that focus on quantum-safe advancements. Life is really hard, though. It's like, how am I going to be all in this forum? I guess, like, some awareness, but, like, these threats, it's hard to put pen and paper and label them and quantify them. Quantify it and then also quantify, for lack of a better word, no pun intended, the solutions. So much for quantum computing, because we haven't quantified the solution really, huh? Through this enlightening discussion with Professor Sala, we gain invaluable insights into the intricate dance of innovation and security. Yeah, it feels like a dance because I still don't know what's going on. At the quantum frontier of blockchain technology, his expertise not only illuminates the path forward, what do you mean? But also underscores the critical need for readiness in an era of quantum computing. Professor Sala was recently appointed head of the Italian Cryptographic Association, which includes contributors from universities, banking institutions, and research labs, among others. You can look forward to hearing more from Professor Sala, with plans underway to host a national XRPL hackathon involving over 20 universities and 60 highly accomplished technical developers on November 21st to 23rd of this year, hosted by the University of Roma. This is great, guys. Well, hopefully we see more detail and we can, no pun intended, jokes intended, we can quantify what that solution looks like in more detail. But I do agree about the awareness. It's not good for people to be negligent. Something, it's like they say, something's secure until it ain't. You know what I mean? So you can't just wait until, boom, it's taken away. So you got to have that situational awareness. If you're interested in exploring more about cryptography, you can check out the free courses available online from the National Italian Association for the support of study and research in cryptography. So, cryptography. To explore more, So what do you guys think about this? I was hoping I would see more of, like, this is what the pain points really look like. This is kind of what the solutions are, but maybe we just have to wait, I'm not a developer, but, am I alone in that? Guys, before ending on a bore, let's end with something maybe a little bit more juicy. So, this is an interesting clip. Vet XRP Cafe co-founder saying, will history proof, I think he has a typo there, will history prove the best incentives is no incentive is wrong. Of course, XRPL validators in their docs, they have that, and they've said it that the best incentive is no incentive. But will it be wrong? Will it be right? I've heard rumors of Brad Garlinghouse 180ing and saying, you know what, let's just do incentives. I like incentives. Do you guys think that this is stupid to do the best incentive is no incentive? And what's the future for that from Ripple? Vet saying good validators remain selected by the XRP Ledger network. No competition by running a validator. If you do a better job than someone else, then that's great. No fight over rewards. But let's check this clip out.
No. And XRP is different than Bitcoin, where they're incentivized by Bitcoin, by being rewarded with Bitcoin to be on the ledger. So how does XRP keep the right people invested in Ledger?
There are no incentives, right, there's not an incentive. And this is something that I think Bitcoin got wrong, and we'll see if history proves me right on this. There's a huge problem with using incentives that way, and you don't need to. So I'll start with the problem and then why you don't need to. So the problem is, if you're a miner and I'm a miner, and I'm making more money mining, or I'm mining more cheaply than you, I'll drive you out of business because I'll mine more and you'll mine less. So it's a race to the bottom. So that means if I can do something malicious that makes me money, you almost have to do it. And you can't be super reliable, you can't have high quality anything, because like those are costs that you can't make back. It's a complete race to the bottom. And I think we're seeing the other problem is that the people who have cheap power and good ASICs look a lot like each other, right? Like they tend to be in the same parts of the world. So it doesn't actually decentralize the operation of the system. And the reason you don't need incentives is if you get rid of proof of work, it doesn't cost anything. Like the reason mining is expensive is because it's made expensive. If you keep it cheap, then you don't need incentives. Anyone will do it. And the way we've designed the system is like, if you're doing a good job of doing the equivalent of mining, then you'll remain selected as a validator. And if you do a bad job, then then people will just stop listening to you. So like the good ones accumulate and the bad ones get excluded. And the critical difference is, so first of all, I have no reason to not want you to validate. It's not like we're fighting over anything. Like if you're better than me, then I'll just stop doing it. Hey, it's just a cost for me. But the cost is comparable to running a name server, a mail server. It's very cheap because it's not proof of work based. So I think that's kind of, the lack of incentive is actually, like the only reason that you would do it is to help the network. And I think one other thing is you have to limit the damage that a validator, miners can double spend, validators, no matter how many validators or how they conspire, they can't double spend. So the crux, that crux issue is avoided.
Yeah, that's an interesting clip. Guys, I think I can see both sides where I've mined for Bitcoin, using just some personal miners, setting up a node. You do need like pretty decent hardware, setting up like a nice full history proper validator for XRPL. But I understand what he's saying also in terms of it being manufactured to be more expensive. And in its essence, it kind of is. But I don't really see it as a direct competition. Like I think that Bitcoin and XRP will coexist. That includes Ethereum. That includes many other projects. I think we'll see ETFs for many projects. On the subject of intention, yes, I think that I agree with David Schwartz. I'm somewhere in the middle. I do like incentives. I do see the pain point of no incentives, but at the same time, if there's no incentives, it kind of filters out so that people who actually want to participate for the sake of building and presence, yes, that does make sense. And then just who does a better job in terms of uptime and whatnot. In addition to that, other areas of opportunity can open up in terms of amendments and voting and whatnot. Having presence on the network and how that translates in the social sense and on the network side as well. So yeah, it's kind of like I'm kind of caught between the two. Is there a concrete answer of like the best incentive is no incentive, or doing incentives a la Solana and many other projects, sometimes combined approaches, the double spending issues and the issues with malicious attacks and attack vectors are problematic, especially as we detailed in Cardano recently with like they're trying to make that as secure as possible with issues when nodes are syncing and then speed, bad intention of this node kind of being malicious and feeding malicious data. So there are those issues that are experienced with conventional proof of work, proof of stake. But at the same time, I like proof of work and proof of stake. So I don't know. I like to just examine networks for what they are. And XRPL just has that product market fit. The product market fit that they have is like, we're going cheap, we're going ultra cheap. spend very little, fractions and fractions of a penny to send and receive stuff. We're going to make sure we get rid of the gas war, no problem. And the other networks do experience a gas war when we look at stuff like Bitcoin and whatnot, sure. But at the same time, I enjoy those networks too for what they do offer. And in design, often what we design changes from how people use it in the wild. And that surely did happen with Bitcoin. It went from this intended peer-to-peer to an unintended store of value or digital gold, with the price pegged to US dollars being one of its core marketing pillars. So it is what it is. It's hard to predict where something is headed in the arms of the public, like when they use it, because what we create will often very different in terms of how people will actually use those goods and services in their day-to-day lives. So what do you guys think? This was a kind of a weak article. Like, I almost contemplated like not uploading this video for this one. This article is like, ugh. It's all right, but I would have liked to see some more clarity. I'm somewhere in between, neutral when it comes to this. I used to go ham on like, yeah, that's stupid to do no incentive, but sometimes it makes sense. I think the arguments that even David has, they are reasonable, they are sensible, they are pragmatic. So I'm somewhere in between with this one. Where are you guys? What do you guys think about the incentive? What do you guys think about the future of XRP with the outcome looming? As you guys, if you don't know, Ripple has called for a max. They're saying that they should pay maximum 10 million for the fine. They're confident that Judge Torres will judge this fairly and that in the coming months we're going to get a conclusive statement. In addition, Apex is coming in June. We're going to see a stablecoin reveal. I think it's going to be called USDR. I'm calling it right now. Maybe I'm wrong. But hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you guys in the next Angry Crypto Show.